Welcome back, associates, to the Lucky Die. Previously, Alice asked for help for Caden. Hintor learns where his parents are, Rhal shares his fate with Fate Forger, Squash falls off the wagon, and Zaltanna shares a moment with a friend. The energetic return of Demi and Squash bring with them a new energy to a worn-out group of travellers. With the information that Dachan, the Chalice, and the parents are possibly at the club, the group assemble their allies. What will Amor's ashes reveal? What surprises will be revealed at the meeting? And where is Lindrin? I guess we're about to find out. Welcome back to the Lucky Die.
Find yourselves at the round table. There are the 5 of you plus your 8 companions, about to decide the fate of the world potentially and where you guys are headed to. Balance stands up and he says,
now that everyone is assembled, I feel we need to have all of our cards on the table, have all information shared, and we need to figure out what our next moves are. The best way I can think to do that would be starting with what the 3 of us have been up to since our departure. After that, I would like to get some insights from all of you and see what your thoughts on the matter are. Do you want me to give a whole recap, or should I just say insert episodes?
Insert episodes 1 through 77.
Episodes 1 through 77.
Yes, I would say that it's like in as brief terms as possible. It takes you probably about 3 or 4 hours to recant everything. Some people will drop in extra little details to like clarify things. It takes a while, and each of you take turns taking over little bits. But yes, like the tale of TLD has been told at this table.
Balance is using minor illusion to accentuate and make displays where necessary.
Yeah, certain things are enhanced by other people's magical abilities also. So yes, like between everyone is caught up. So I hope everyone at this table is caught up on what has happened on TLD so far, because I'm not going back through this. Okay.
More or less.
Go for it then.
After the tale has been told. Now, with all of that being said and done, there is more recent matters that are of some concern, but I'm concerned that they're a setup. With my Imbalance kind of pauses and looks at Pintor. With our parents potentially being in the hands of what is quite likely the avatar of this dark god that is trying to invade our realm, I'm very concerned that this is all a setup. I don't think that the Chalice would actually be there, nor do I think that Dachan would actually be there. I think it's a very good distraction to keep us from pursuing the rest of the relics that we need. There is also the matter of the brewing civil war between the elves and dwarves, which we cannot have that kind of a divide right now. There's also the matter of trying to get the remaining pieces, one of which Dachan does have. Demi, do we have any information on the remaining 2?
Yes. So if you have the shield,
we do.
We have the hammer and we have the rapier.
Correct.
They seem to be correlating with like various pieces of things. So there should be a chalice left, So when I did a bunch of research, I found that there was a hammer, which Bogrim has, and Bogrim like taps it on the table. There should be a rapier of some sort, and she looks at you guys, and Zaltanna taps on the table. There should be a chalice, which Squash found, and she like taps the table just in front of Squash, who's sitting next to her on her left. There should also be a crown. There should be a crown of some sort, and there should be a shield, which we have. And then there's something it's referred to as a heart, but I'm not entirely sure like where one would find this or anything about it apart from the fact that it's just a clockwork heart. Balance.
Yes.
I need to know which dumbass thing you have active right now.
Probably the aura.
Okay, good. Tell me if you want to insight anyone or look at anything in particular. Otherwise, I'm not gonna.
Okay.
As she talks about the hammer is on the table. It's fairly obvious. As she talks about the rapier, it's there. It's fairly obvious. Most of you have seen the shield already, and most people would have been down there to see it. As she talks about the chalice, she makes a small minor illusion of the chalice floating in the middle of the table. It is, in fact, the one that is from Squash's backstory. It's one that he recognizes very clearly. It's the one that Balance saw in the vision he just had with Squash. She makes a small clockwork heart. It's kind of like brassy in color, and there are lots of gears and cogs. For a dwarf, and the dwarves at the table, they would recognize it as something that's probably dwarven forged. But it's nothing anyone, or without checking anything, would know anything about. And she makes the illusion of a crown. Now, this is particular of interest to Pintor and Balance, as the crown is a delicate rose gold filigree thing with a series of rose quartz. You guys would recognize this
That's the crown
as
of Queen Glengareth.
Yep. I
Correct,
feel like
Monday.
as soon as that illusion shows up, Balance immediately looks at Pintor and shares a look.
Yep. Stares right at him and then right back.
That's of concern.
Benno also gives you guys a look because he would have seen this and recognized this too. He's also an elf.
Fair. If that's the case, then there's one technically within our reach. That's it's a bit of a long shot, but
If we can save Father, we can get the crown.
right.
Oh, God, don't tell me. Is that your aunt's crown?
Yep.
Yep.
Fuck.
Can I make a request here? Neil, can you edit it so that Pintor and Balance said yup at the exact same time?
Sure.
That's not going to happen, is it?
Yup. Please.
It's a good pun. It's fun.
Yup.
Yup, yup.
All right. If that's the case, then we have one course we can pursue right now. Unless anyone else has any other information that should be considered.
Kythea and Kythea puts her hand up a little. Sakit puts his hand up a small amount. Nah, no one else does. Kythea stands up at this point because of the various conversations that have happened, the fact that Rondi is here, the fact that everyone here knows about the fact that there are a bunch of Kino here. She has taken off her necklace. It also makes it easier for me because it's a distinct voice.
Okay.
And she stands and says, I was given a book recently about avatars. I did some research. I had a read. I managed to translate some of it. We can capture an avatar. We can find out what they are. We already know that it probably belongs to this blissful eclipse thing. We know that's probably what he's an avatar of. We have to be very careful because if we kill his avatar form without capturing it here first, he's just going to make another one and come straight back. We have to be real careful about that. And with your friend Lisbeth going after, we might need to get that message to her in case something happens. I've heard of something called the Web of Creation. So we might want to make one of those just so we can keep hold. It's the most powerful binding ingredient, potion, spell, ritual that I've ever heard of. And Demi nods and in agreement. They are super powerful, though. I wouldn't want to face it myself, but then I'm not as strong and brave as some of you. And she looks like a little bit nervous, having just stood up, spoken out loud, and realized that maybe she doesn't have quite as much authority and knowledge as she'd wanted, and just like sits back down a bit more uncomfortably.
Balance gives her a respectful head nod. Take it, you had something to say as well?
Yeah. It's no secret that there's a war brewing. Thing is, if one of you two or your dad's in charge over in the off camp, make things a bit easier. But I think we should probably reach out to Apella as well. Something tells me that, well, your father's no mean tactician, but from what I've heard, Apella's much better. She's much better with her people. She knows what she's doing. Undefeated. If we are gonna do this, we might need her help. She might know things that we don't. She may have access to things we don't. She may already have found this heart thing, because the only thing we've not got any leads on yet. I think we should reach out to her.
Balance gives Take It like a look of respect at that. These are valid points. So addressing in order, Kythea and by extension Demi, what will you need for this web of creation? What needs to be done?
There's a bunch of gems and things that we need. There's a few very rare and difficult to get ingredients like tears and blood and an arm and a leg.
Like a literal
also,
arm and leg?
In equivalency in flesh and blood and bone, yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's not great. It has to be done under a certain type of moon. There's a whole thing. We're really lucky. I've got one of these gems, one of these alchemist stones. It allows you to cast this kind of level of magic through it. It'll be very helpful. I brought it with me, so we have access to that. I think between Demi and I, we can probably get most of the things. Some of them are a little harder to get by. We may have to get one of you guys to go have a look for it. Demi nods and she says, there's some things in there that are very difficult to get, like the blood and the tears and, all this good stuff. We just need a father and a mother. That's a real good thing to have. And a child. We need those two. Caden, coughs a little bit and just tries to hide himself. He doesn't want to be involved in this. He does not want his child involved in this.
Do you need the father and the mother and the child to be alive or dead? This is important.
Okay. She kind of pulls out the her alchemy book, and she pulls out this this kind of yellowish looking stone, and she says, we need some magically imbued spider silk web, which is not difficult to get. We need 1,000 gold diamond, 200 crushed ruby, 200 crushed sapphire, 200 crushed citrine, 4 pints of purified blood from 4 different sentient races. We need 34 pound of flesh and bone, which is an arm and a leg. Tears of a hurt child, tears of a worried mother, tears of a proud father. And gotta do it under a new moon using kind of this stone. This stone's been to the Sentinel Plane, so this is as good as we're gonna get.
Caden, can we use your tears?
He looks at you. He's like, I sure. If I just need to be proud, I'm always proud of Taylor's. She's working on something right now.
There you go.
I'm sure I can do that. Kythea nods.
V, can you? I'm gonna need that list as a note or a handout in Roll20 if you could.
Yeah.
I will say that Balance is taking consistent notes as the discussions are going on.
Yeah, that's fine. Let me.
V, we haven't even found the first 6 things.
Am I excited
Some
about
of this
finding
stuff-
a bunch of blood and bones and stuff? Yes. Also, it's 4 sentient races, right?
Yeah.
We have 4 sitting at this table.
Yeah, I was about to say, I can literally just take out a dagger and cut us all right now.
But the tears of a hurt child. Guys, no.
No,
Taylus!
not
Taylus!
Talus.
Kick her in the shin! Ha!
No, let's just punch Pintor in
feel
the
like-
face really hard. I'll start
I
getting the
feel
tears
like-
going.
No, let's
doesn't-
not punch Pinto.
Does it have to be a child or just somebody's child? Because I feel like Pintor is pretty hurt about how his parents treat him, and we could get him to
No.
cry.
It needs to be a kid.
Actually, Pintor is
Proper
technically
child.
a kid by elf standards.
Yeah, what do
Adulthood's
you-
100.
What do you consider a child? This is important.
Is this in character at what?
Because I can make Pintor cry.
Everybody can make Pinter cry.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Pintor, did I miss something?
Demi gives you like a half look and a bit of a like.
No.
You know that look on. She's trying not to smile at you.
No, but Pintor, it's just because you're a child by, like Balance said, by elf standards. And if you were hurt and you cried, it would be like one ingredient, if that counts.
I mean, I can go stub my toe if you really want me to. That'll probably get the water flowing.
Balance looks like Kythea with like a raised eyebrow. Like, is that?
She kind of shrugs and like, are you a child currently running around here without supervision of your parents? I mean,
I'm 45 years old.
yeah, like by human standards, you're probably not a child. And you're probably not innocent. I mean, you are wandering around with a weapon and I don't know. You might do, but I don't know if I want to risk it.
That's fair. I'd rather make sure
don't-
that we do everything by the book.
I don't want to hurt a child.
No, me either.
You know,
But
I was okay with
She
it when
kind
it
of
was
like- she
Pintor
kind of like-
because he's like
Yeah.
45.
she kind of like raises like one of her shoulders and looks over at Rondi. And he kind of like he looks over and he just like he nods his head and he says, I'm sure at some point during our play, but that's one of the 3 of us will probably end up hurting ourselves. I will make sure that we have a vial around. Innocent child play. It's gonna happen.
that works. All right. Well, with that being said, Balance is looks kind of contemplative as he's thinking over everything. In regards to what you've mentioned, Thakit,
Here.
I definitely agree that the Dawn would be of great use to us if we can bring them in, if we can have their aid. My concern is how willing they'll be to work with us. I obviously have not been around these past 50 years, so I'm unaware of the political nature that they hold with the Dusk.
From all accounts, she's fairly reasonable, but her counselors, her advisors, a little bit more brutal. But I think if me and my mother go down, he looks over at Pentel, we can probably get a pillar on side. Mother's pretty forceful.
Yeah, she is.
She'd probably know.
That could
The
work.
worst we can do is try and ask. The worst they'll do is declare war. Not much different now, is it?
I would prefer we avoid active warfare. We have our own concerns already without needing to worry about them.
We'll basically do our best.
It's a really sad state of affairs when the worst they can do is declare war is not like terrible.
No,
be honest-
that's very awful, honestly.
Like a Thakik like gestures out like where the window would be, except it's all like covered over. He's like, with everything going on out there, do you know what a war? Everyday thing in comparison.
No, I know. I agree with you, but I'm just saying that shows how fucking terrible the world is.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, fake it. You gotta go back to Darkhammer anyway, because you got a letter to deliver.
Yeah.
I would say giving that a shot's a pretty good idea.
All right, leave that with me then.
Hmm.
He looks a little bit nervous after he says it, like, oh no, did I just do something too far? Did I go too far? But like, Renala like gives him a dig in the elbow, like, shut up.
Pinter puts his arm on his shoulder and just kind of like squeezes him.
Yeah. So that deals with your avatar problem. What about this thing about getting the chalice and the heart?
The heart, we have no inclination as to where it could be.
Well,
We need to have people dedicated to finding it.
it looks like it's dwarven make. So, Fake It, if you're going to go back to Darkhammer's stronghold, maybe see if your mom knows anything about a clockwork heart.
Yeah, want to give her a ask?
I mean, if our people made it, then our queen should know about it.
I'll tell you what, I'll travel with, and I'll pick up the heart thing. It's a real long shot, but I come from a place called Heart's Hearth. Maybe I can start looking there. There's lots of things about hearts and gears and shit down there.
Oh, shit.
It's a tentative start, but I could give it a go. I mean, I'm not doing much else other than trying to get the fourfold under control.
Which you should be able to at least do with your advisors now, yes?
Yeah, I've got most of the things set up, and I'll have a fake version of the hammer. And he looks a little bit bitter that he's going to have to give this thing up.
I know how you feel. I wish I could. That's why I'm getting Demi to make me a fancy weapon. Or have a brother do it. Well, shit, I feel weird that I'm the only dwarf not going back to dwarf territory. Speaking of, what are we gonna do? Are we gonna go after your parents? Is that our best bet?
The way things are lining up, it seems that way. The chalice currently is in the hands of Daichin as far as we're aware. And as it stands right now, we can't go after him.
There wasn't, like, when I was there, I didn't sense anyone that powerful. And I would have sensed Daichin. Like, I know Daichin, I've met him before, and I'm super fucking angry at him, and I'm definitely out to get him. So I would have sensed him if he was there, and he wasn't there. So I think what Squash saw was probably she kind of like half-heartedly like taps next to the table right next to where Squash is, but doesn't touch him. It's like, I think it's probably an illusion of some sort, but I'm willing to bet the chalice is probably there. There is something about in the history of the Gentleman's Dueling Club about a chalice, and they spent a lot of time hunting it down, but they never seem to have found it. But perhaps they did. Perhaps Daichin is perhaps doing something. Maybe he's sowing chaos. I'm not really sure what he's doing there, but I'm pretty certain Daichin wasn't there.
But you
No, I
think
hope
the
the chalice
chalice
is
may?
there. Most likely. I mean, I was there chasing down the rumor that the chalice may be there because I'd heard about it and I've seen it in the investigation and the thing I did about it. And then, like, Squash talking about the chalice, so I had an idea that maybe that was to do with that. And then I heard something about your parents being at the club, and I thought, I better go check that out. But I didn't want to raise your hopes in case you were super mad at them or anything like that. And then, like, Pintil turned up, so I was like, okay, yeah, we're definitely going to go check this out now.
So,
Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm still mad at them, but that's besides the point.
So from the sound of it, it looks like one.
It's okay. Everyone has parent wishes.
One is going to lead to the other one. So if we go
Correct.
and get the chalice, that we stop there. If we can save our parents, do that, we can get the crown.
Right.
I mean, there's nothing stopping you from just going to Bella Boog and getting the crown now. I mean, you could ask her for the crown.
But
It's
we
a
could risk
matter
civil war.
of it's a matter of how we go about doing it, because one way involves quite likely us getting into a more aggressive stance versus my aunt. Our aunt, sorry.
Yeah.
The other way is more by right of blood and right of succession. I'm not opposed to either plan. That being said, I'm a bit biased on this matter.
Well, yeah, you want to be king. I mean, that's fairly obvious.
Balance kind of gives like a half smile. I think that it may be wiser if we do go for the chalice and, by extension, our parents first. If we can rescue our parents and, with any luck, perhaps they're actually on our side, then they can be of aid. Having the chalice itself, if we can obtain it, I'm not sure what abilities it may possess itself, but they could be of use to us on our journey to get the crown.
I have a few ideas. I think I know what maybe part of them. They were talking about it when they were talking about the things. Let me have a look. You see her like scroll, her eyes like rolling back a little bit, bright red as they are. She seems to be trying to recall information as I am scrolling through the document. Oh boy. Oh yeah, this was fucking dumb.
Do I need my bigger notepad, V?
You always need your bigger notepad. Why
Son
have
of
you
a-
not brought a bigger notepad?
I have it. It's right here. Fuck.
She as her eyes kind of like roll back into like the normal place, she says, I'm fairly certain from my memory that it calls forth guardians from your history to protect you, but it also gives you like this very insane ability to make people do and say what you want after you've drunk from it.
Huh.
Balance kind of has like a wide-eyed look like, oh,
Yeah.
that could be very useful.
It would be exceptionally useful and probably very, very useful to you, but I'm pretty sure that it came with a disadvantage, but I don't remember what it is exactly right now.
Well, regardless, some of that could be quite useful, depending.
Of course.
Depending.
Yes. Yes. It would be very useful.
Sorry, I was writing in my notes.
Of course. Someone here should be taking notes, and she kind of looks around, realizes that like Balance is doing it. Probably a bunch of other people are doing it too.
Rhal's
She's
like
just,
got his
settled
head down on the desk because he's tired.
Well, the Gentleman's Jewel and Cup, they were having a meeting fairly shortly in the next like day or two is when that thing is going to be happening. So I can get at least one of you in on a +1. Squash is already considered my personal +1. So he can come with and guide you guys through down there. I can take at least one of you in. I think my brother said that he would allow Rhal to take someone in with him because Rhal will be like representing him as part of the lodge or something. I don't remember exactly the details. So I know we can get at least like 3 of you in. Does anyone have any cool, interesting ideas on how we can get the rest of you in?
I think there are only going to be 4 of us going, presumably, right? Or Rhal, are you going to come too?
She looks at Pintor and she looks back at you guys and she says, I'm just a serving girl. These people seem, from what I've gathered, from what Pintor's told me, they seem like real posh people with a lot of power.
Well, see, here's the thing, though. If Pintor feels like you would be good to have along, I bet we could get you in as like a waitress or something. Like, here's the thing that we used to do in the double ones sometimes, right? If we needed to get infiltrate, not that we did this a lot, and not that I'm giving you guys any secrets, but fuck it.
You see some of them just like stop with their quills poised and just like looking at you like, what is she going to come out with now?
Well, we'd pretend to be like servants and shit like that. Because here's the thing, posh people don't fucking look their servants in the eyes. They don't look at their servants like at all. So
They don't look at people's like +1 mistresses either.
That too. They don't look at mistresses.
This is a place that like thrives in it. Like, a lot of people in the high society don't get married for like personal reasons, so they get married for other reasons. They take their +1 mistresses with them. So perhaps Pinto, you're a prince. You're a prince of the realm. You could probably just get in on your own merit.
Probably, yeah.
I mean, your father wasn't registered there, so you could probably at least say that you're working for them, even if they ask you like you're a prince. Would you care about what they think? They're just minions.
I mean, yeah, I could do that. Pintor looks over towards Renala and is like, "Is this something that you would want to do?"
She shrugs like, no, other than going back to Darkhammer, there's nothing else I can really do.
Would you rather stay here, or do you want to come with?
Oh, no, I do not want to stay here. If there's any chance of us getting in trouble, you know I'm going to be there.
All right.
Got ya.
Then done.
Okay, so is she going to be a mistress or a serving girl?
Pintor and Renala just kind of look at each other for a moment.
They look awkwardly.
Oh, Zaltanna is savoring this. She knows that they're fucking. Like, come on.
They are not. We haven't had that discussion.
Oh, they fucking.
Pintor's
All right, well, let's have this discussion on the table now.
Are they fucking?
Let's go with serving
Oh,
girl.
they fuck.
I feel like I don't need to answer that.
Not actually. No one's actually asking if they're fucking.
No, that is not.
That's good. That's good. That's good. So we can
And
probably
if
get
they were, I
everyone
would
in.
cut it out.
Thank you, Neil.
So if that's the case, then we'll have the 6 of us infiltrating this
And me. So
gathering.
7. It'd be 7 of us.
Oh yes, Demi, you'll be there as well, yes.
Well, also I need to teleport you in because there's one definite way of getting you in, which is teleportation, and I already know the room because I've already been there. Well, I've been there a few times, so I know how to get there. So I can do that, like, bam, off the bat, I can do that. Or we'd have to get a boat and sail across. But since, like, the thing is tomorrow and everyone's going to be distracted with that and very important people will be there, there's probably going to be our best chance to get into the vault. Oh, I have also thought about a disguise for you. I have a thing for you, Balance. There's a thing. It will hide your disguise. It's as good as I can make it. It's based off of a design I stole from someone else, but it's as good as I can make it. It will probably help you out for a long while. But there are some of the levels down there in the vaults and in the cellars there, which it's probably going to stop working. But by the time you're that far down, you're probably screwed anyway. So just don't get caught. Oh, you did down that far.
Understood. In either case, it's a necessary effort.
Yes. You have to do this.
All right, so in that case, we're going to have the 7 of us infiltrating. Fake it, you're going to be returning to Darkhammer, retrieving your mother, conveying my response.
Yeah, you don't want to marry her. Yeah, she'll understand. No offense, don't think she want to marry you either, but things being as they are.
Balance kind of just like coughs into his hand and
He was a little hurt by that.
Like Thea's like, wait, what?
Wait, what? What? I'm not doing this. I have enough voices to deal with it today.
Bogrim, you're going to be looking into the Heart's Hearth, the connections that it may possibly have with the mechanical heart.
Yeah.
Fake it, you said you'd be able to look into that as well in Darkhammer if possible.
See what we can do.
If nothing turns up while you're in Darkhammer, then I would definitely say if you can take a look in the Dawn, see if there's any information that could be gained.
Oh, I'll let my mum make the assessment as to whether a pellet can be brought in on this or not. Hopefully should, but if she turns out like your aunt, no offense, then screw her.
I certainly hope not, but in either sense, your mother is a good judge of character, so. Beyond that, Kythea, you're going to be working on this Web of Creation along with Demi after Demi returns from our current work. Rondi, I wanted to follow up with you actually regarding the army that we have.
Yes.
Obviously, we're waiting for something. There's obviously a purpose, the reason why your father had this army put together. What have your people been up to in the meantime? Has there been any efforts made? Is there anything that they could be doing to assist in these endeavors?
My people have been spending as much time as possible trying to learn the language, common language here. It's taken some time. Not everyone has access to quick spells for these things. Others of us have been working on ways to make more permanent versions of Alter Self, at least for the time being. We can't assist on the surface with some of our members being Tabaxi and Hortle, for example, or Tieflings, and he gestures at Kythea. Essentially, mostly my people have been training. Getting used to the way the world currently is, contacting their gods and seeing which ones of them still live.
That does bring up the question, who was the third?
The god's death, one that caused the fracturing of the earth. It's Lilira. It's the goddess of joy.
Yikes.
Yes, indeed.
That's unfortunate.
Yes. It is also very smart. You take out the person who can see the future. You take out the person of knowledge. And take out morale.
So we're feeling like this is a concentrated effort.
Yes.
A tactical
this is not
one.
random.
Okay.
This is what I would assume.
Well,
I will have as many of my people try and work on trying to figure out who the next one to go down is, but I'm not entirely sure how all of this works yet.
Well, tactically, let's think about this tactically. You got foresight, you got morale, you got wisdom. What would be, if you were trying to take out an enemy, what would be the next thing you would go for?
Depends on the tactics.
I would probably either take out the god of war or the god of healing or regeneration.
My thoughts exactly.
I would take out the god of healing.
Yes. I am not entirely sure what we can do or who is responsible for all of these deaths. But I think it would be wise if we tried to contact Kino.
Okay. I think there have been a lot of, what are they called, coming through lately? Fucking shit like the Sandman. And she flinches when she says his name.
Celestials and fiends.
There's been a lot more, and I think...
I did some reading on that, too. Why these portals keep opening up is every time someone breaks through to the stalking. When people resurrect people, in Kino, it's not a problem. We don't consider it taboo. We don't consider it a problem. People do it for kicks. I did some reading on it. It creates more of those rifts. And also celestials avatars can cause them too. If they cross over into the holy place of a god, like a temple or a church or a city, they can create mini rifts. That's how a lot of them are coming through. We're kind of doing this to ourselves.
Zaltanna looks at Rhal.
Okay.
Casey?
Nope, that was it. She just looks at Rhal.
Cool.
They said something about the stalking plane, so she looks over
it's
at
not
Rhal.
it's not when I go to the stalking plane. It's when we try to bring people back from the dead.
Right.
Which is what we're trying to do
Zaltanna
a lot of.
picks up a hand mirror and looks at herself.
That does bring up some concerns then. We did have the incident. Should we be concerned about a rift opening here then?
She shakes her head. She says, and Rondi shakes his head also. They form randomly. Some of them are out to sea, and we never see them. She kind of shrugs her shoulders. Some are in important places. Anywhere where an avatar crosses to a place of a god, there's a small rift form right at that moment, right where they are. But that's about it, really.
Understood. The third god's death can be attributed to Daichin, I believe. We had a bit of foresight when we were in Chatvark, thanks to our little gnome friend Titus. I didn't understand it at the time, but the information he had given turns out to be true, it seems, since everything transpired as he had predicted.
What bits?
He had given a small prophecy saying, and I quote, "They will return, and one shall fall. The second comes back, and gods tremble. The blissful eclipse will make it threefold. We can't face this alone. This is foretold." The blissful eclipse being Daichin in this case would mean that the third god's death was likely due to him. And we can't face this alone, I wholeheartedly agree.
I've got Elise and Tuck getting the triad for us.
That would be very helpful. But I think we are going to need Kino.
Perhaps I should make the journey back. My brother is in an important place. He's a bit of a hard-headed guy, but I can probably get through to him. He's on our initiative council, so I can probably talk to them
bring them into this. Or at least begin to feel my way through it. At least I as she looks over at Rondi, it's like, I don't want to do this on my own. I'm just one person. So maybe some of your people might want to come and help me.
An escort would be good.
Rondi nods and he's like, there are a few drow that would probably be useful. Can travel between the two without much cause for alarm. A few gnomes also.
With any luck, by the time you should reach there, the Civil War issue should be settled, and someone a bit more level-headed, I would hope, would have the Elven throne. Thakit, how do you think your mother would respond in regards to perhaps renegotiating the treaty with Kino?
He looks over at Pintor and says, she's not quite as open-minded as we are, but I think she'd understand the importance. If Kythea comes via Dark Hammer Stronghold, we'll send some Dwarven help with her too. Maybe get a message over from at least one of the level-headed rulers here. Might help.
So Kythea would go with you to Dark Hammer, convey the intent, see what your mother thinks, and with any luck then have the escort depart from there.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be as much of an issue then, since drow are accepted on both continents.
Gnomes too. The journey takes a while. I never really had the chance to memorize any of the teleportation runes, but maybe I could try and spend some time memorize this one, so it'd be a quicker journey back.
I think that would be a very wise idea.
Okay.
That being said then, Demi, will you be able to handle making this web of creation on your own if Kythea is not here?
I'm going to need her gem, the alchemy gem that she was talking about, but I can absolutely do that. I just need the various ingredients. I have to make it under the moon, and Kythea, if you leave like explicit notes, then I can probably get through them all. You know, I have the power. I have the ability to do this. It won't be a problem.
Good. And in either case, we do have that other gentleman that seemed to be an alchemist as well.
Yeah, he's pretty good. His knowledge is far better than mine.
Where did he come from, if you don't mind my asking? I never even...
He kind of stumbled across the temple. He was hiding down in the sewers when, the last god died, and he found his way there. He was a bit beat up, kind of stung by a few darts, a bit charred, but he made it here. So we healed him up, and he's been helping us out ever since.
Was he looked into?
We had a few conversations. He seems to be on the level. He just, one of those guys that just fell into the right place at the wrong time, I guess.
I think I'm going to have a conversation with him later. I don't believe in coincidence anymore. Right then. So we have that all settled.
I guess then we should probably get ourselves moving. Because we could just be waiting here and just talking about it now that we've made decisions and like being really super sad that everyone has to leave, or we could just like find ways to stay in contact and then we'll come back here and meet again in like a couple of weeks' time.
That was one of my last questions. Is there a way for us to maintain communication among the groups?
I could bind everyone.
I'm not really into the idea of being tied up.
That connection only works within a certain range as well, anyhows.
Yeah. See, the thing you have to be careful is, and the thing that I probably should have warned you about, but you were kind of prisoners at the time and you were on death row, so I didn't really think it was important to tell you these things. I mean, I didn't really... Well, Kaden knew some of it, is that when you break the bond, when you go to a different plane of existence for like longer than like a minute or something, then the bond breaks and then the person in the center of it like feels the after effects, and obviously like if you died then things would happen, but you all just like disappeared off of the same plane at the same time, so like that really screwed Kaden over. I will look into this, but this will have to be my next thing. If I'm taking you guys to GDC and then we're dealing with that thing, then I'll have to deal with that when I come back, so please don't die of old age by the time. Kaden, please. And he just like shrugs his shoulders as if like I'll try. Clearly there's nothing he can do.
I feel that.
For the first time, Rhal's like, relatable.
This is relatable content, and I want more of it.
Welcome to my life, Kaden.
Yeah.
The only other thing
I got you.
that I want to... I don't even know how to phrase this properly. Rhal, you're dying, and we know what needs to be done to fix that.
And we don't have time to do anything anyways.
Right.
Even if we could.
And your people are tied up in this somehow.
Because of the book?
If the book is anything to go by, yes, your people are meant to either be fighting with us or against us. Depending on how they view everything that's going on.
Rhal kind of sees where this is going and does not like it. He bleeds a bit and starts looking a bit more attentive and panicked instead of tired. I don't... Is it smart to even get them involved if they're going to just try to kill Monarch anyways? Maybe it's smart to leave them out of it.
My concern is that if they come into a war not knowing who's on what side, that they may invariably end up picking the wrong side themselves. I think that establishing communication with them would be a good idea somehow.
I don't feel like they've been here for ages, right? And they haven't had any communication with anyone, correct?
Mm-mm.
You're correct.
So it seems to me like they have like a policy of not dealing with any outside of bullshit, and they just want to be isolationist of themselves. Am I getting that right, Rhal?
I don't know of any of your kind that have showed up on our place.
We weren't aware of your existence, really.
Right. So what I'm saying is I don't feel like if we don't like let them know there's a war that they're gonna like even know and care to join on any side.
Well, but according to the book, that's their purpose, is that they are going to have to be involved in this war. That they're either going to be against Monarch because he has gone to some dark side, and Balance does like air quotes, or they're going to be hopefully on our side if that's the case. As Rhal had said, they were all training to be warriors for this such purpose.
There's people amongst there are people amongst Savras's army who can read all languages. They may be able to translate your book for you.
That could be of great aid.
That would help.
It would take some time, and they would need the book. But they can do this.
Sure. Rhal gets out the book and puts it on the table.
Rondi reaches for it and just like slides it towards him. I will make sure that they treat this book with care. I understand that it is a personal item of yours.
Thank you.
He nods.
So on the matter of contacting the Dragonborns, I suppose hold off then? Or do we think it may be a good idea to at least try to establish some connection?
If there is a way to contact them in this book, and he taps, then we will have that option. But my people have never heard of them either.
I think we hold off until we know exactly what the book says.
Hold off until I bring Aima back. She could help you. Her father is their leader. I can't do anything with this.
That does bring up a matter as well. I sent out a message to Talvin. I assume that he should be here within some time period soon, I hope. I told him to bring the strongest people he has at his disposal for resurrection purposes.
Oh, shit.
Balance turns to Zaltanna with a raised eyebrow.
No, that was a Casey thing. Did
Okay.
Zaltanna ever tell Balance about what happened with Ninverna?
Nope.
Oh, okay. Then Zaltanna says, "Oh shit," out loud.
Balance turns to Zaltanna with a raised eyebrow.
Are you okay?
Ninverna's not in my head.
Spectre took her somewhere.
When I went to resurrect Odette,
Spectre was there for a second. And then he took her before the others. I guess Spectre was there.
Then we may be working with the limited time frame, depending.
Balance, I'm so sorry. I didn't know that if I went in that anything would happen. I didn't know.
Balance just shakes his head. There's a lot of things we don't know. That's all right. I will attempt to contact him again after this meeting and see if he can try to expedite the process, if he can get here before we need to depart. If not, then I'll try to leave a message so that perhaps he can wait for our return here.
Okay.
Bringing Ama back, I think, would be wise. And bringing Ninverna back is something that he's going to pursue regardless of the fact.
Rhal kind of nods and smiles and wipes a bit of blood away. Yeah, I'll make sure that she knows how important it is that she helps.
She's good at this sort of thing.
Last thing then would be we need to put these two weapons on the pedestal, or the armor stand, I should say.
Right.
Again, I say, fuck.
I'm sorry, but it's Monarch's wish, and I'm not at liberty to argue after the aid he has given.
I know.
I will try and get my brother to sort something out for you before. I have an idea of the thing he could probably give you, and if someone's worthy of this thing, then you're probably going to be the one, so I will ask him about it. I will try and get him to bring it here for when you get back, for when we get back. I will send him a message tonight and see what happens.
Sounds good.
Regardless, she's going to need a weapon for while we are doing this whole thing.
Yeah, yeah, I can't really use, I mean, I have to keep Cal on me, but I'm not 100% sure when he's coming back. So,
well, you can still use Cal as a sword then, right?
Unclear. like I think I probably could, but it's like a thing of like, I guess, like,
He's
I don't want to like, wake him up.
Eat a meal, and what you're doing is whacking him over the head with an enemy. He probably won't digest things very well.
Yeah, exactly. Like, unclear. Verging on the side, or I'm gonna err on the side of no.
No.
Understood.
Preferably, I'd like a sword that does something awesome, because I'm used to having a sword that does awesome things. But
if we can't get a weapon from... Fuck, what's his name?
Damas. My brother's name is
Damas.
Damas.
from dumbass.
No, not Damas, Damas. He doesn't like me called Damas. Only I get to call him Damas.
If we
No,
can't...
I just call him Damas.
If we can't get a weapon from Damas in time, then we'll just have to see if we can get a regular weapon for you in the meantime. Unless you want to fight with daggers. I don't think they're really your type, though.
I'm not a dagger girl. I'm a sword girl.
Yeah.
She's a dwarf.
How many people can we fit in the armor stand room?
Probably about 8. Yeah, probably about 8, yeah.
I feel like we should bring 5. So the 5 of us plus, let's say, Bogrim, Demi, and Caden.
Yeah, I mean, if one of these is Constitution, then might be good.
That's good for Rhal too, trust me. I need it.
That's the last matter then is I think the 8 of us should step into the armor stand room, take care of that business, and then we all have our duties.
Okay. On that beautiful note, everyone who needs to depart begins to get some of their stuff and begins to get ready to leave, and I'll have them leave later in this episode.
I apply my inspiring leader feat to everybody.
Lasts an hour, right? Or is it a day?
It's temporary HP, so it would last until their next long rest.
I'm going to tell you, it will run out by the time everyone leaves. Like, this shit won't be happening until, like, tomorrow morning.
It's just for flavor. It's cute.
Yes.
We're having a war
feels
council.
Much better by his inspirational leadership. You'll get a bunch of temporary HP, which you may or may not need. So, yeah, roll it. Give it out. Dish it out.
It is my level plus my charisma modifier, which would make that 11 temp HP.
Okay, just bear that in note in case we get into a fight in the next few minutes.
It's possible.
Okay. As everyone makes their way down to the 8 of you who are going into this room.
5 plus Bogrim, Demi, Caden.
Yeah. The mirror is still covered, right? You covered it back up after you tried to look back in?
Yes, I covered back up after I did that hole.
Okay.
I don't think Pintor has ever been in this room, right?
No, you're aware of its existence. You've like seen it. Essentially, and the same for Squash. You've probably only seen this in passing. There is an armor stand in the center of this fairly small room. It has some odds, and as you get closer to it, especially you yourself, Pinto, you would know that this is not a normal armor stand. Normal armor does not fit on this. This is designed to hold and carry different things, like weapons, and they're in various places like arms and legs and chest, and there's a head slot there as well. You also notice, as opposite the door in which you go in, there is a large piece of cloth which seems to be hiding a mirror.
Whatever any of you do not touch that mirror. Just going to lay that out there right now.
Please touch the mirror.
No, please don't.
Do not touch mirror. Got it.
Slowly see
Okay,
Rhal's
As much as I would love to see your mirror vision, Pintar, please don't.
I'd love to see his mirror vision. It's not like I've got it written up or anything.
Please don't.
Okay. As everyone piles into this room, Zaltanna and Bogrim stand to one side because when they walk in, the things are going to happen. You'll stand in there. As Zaltanna and Bogrim step in there with their weapons in hand, I assume Zaltanna is giving up this weapon. She's not going to try and hide it and steal it and hold it. Yeah, good.
Reluctantly.
Reluctantly, she will hand it over.
Reluctantly. I want this weapon, but I know that Marnak will like fireball me through balance if I don't, so.
Did the HP increase, does that stack regardless of whether or not you're attuned? Does that stick around?
Yes.
Oh, then Casey, you need to figure out how many days you've had that rapier on you, because your max HP is probably a bit higher than it should be.
Let me have a look.
3, right?
Oh shit, I had it attuned for a day as well, didn't I?
And it's +5, right?
You handed it almost straight over to Zaltanna.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Let me have a look.
Oops.
When did you do the fights? War declared on day 45.
Worth a try, Arch.
48.
I don't know time
It's now
in this game.
53. You have basically gained 7 hit points because you guys came back at some speed.
Yes.
So you have 7 hit points added to your max, and that basically just holds over until you die.
Yay!
That's actually amazing. Fuck, I want to keep this Marnak. That's a good sword.
Let me keep this sword. I need more HP.
You're fine. You're absolutely fine.
I'm the tank. I should have more HP.
As Zaltanna and Bogrim step into the room, they feel a tug on the weapons. I need to make sure I describe this the same way as I did before. They pull themselves away from your hands. They float in the air. And they make their way over towards the armor stand, and they spin into a correct orientation. The rapier arranges itself to take the position of where the left leg is, and the hammer rotates to take the position of the right leg. And as they very quickly snap into position, all of you see a bright blue flash of light that emits from the stand. It's so bright it reflects off of the mirror, which is dappled because of the cloth that's on it. and something twists and shifts in your brain. You feel something change and you all momentarily stop breathing as you receive a small vision. All of you see darkness. You see 2 bright white lights fly back and hover in the center, joining a third light. They glow a bit brighter, and then the vision fades out. The blue light that came from the armor stand also fades out. And you see that the 2 items have melted into the armor stand of the position where it was, the left leg and the right leg. And all of you receive a +1 to your strength and a +1 to your dexterity.
Woo!
Ooh.
If it takes you over 20, so be it.
Damn it, that doesn't give me anything for either. Fuck.
+1 to my strength and +1 to my dex.
Yes.
Oh.
And if you have 21 of whatever, cool.
Not yet, but 1 more to my strength and I'll have 20.
Nice. Nice.
I have a 21 dex.
I don't have his shitty strength. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a 9 in strength now. Yeah.
I have 11 dexterity now.
That's still better than me.
Bogram gets stronger.
Bogram
Stronger
gets
Bogram.
even stronger.
And
Bogram.
sneakier Bogram.
And Demi and Caden.
It's sad to say that to balance, you still have more strength than me.
What? Oh.
Okay.
You're more dexterous, though.
Yes, I am. I'm very dexterous.
I need to know if any of you are doing anything right now, if you're going to go off and do the things you need to do.
I want to talk to the kid that talks to all the Kino people here.
Rondi?
Rondi, yeah,
Rondi,
Rondi would have come
yes.
down, just not in the room. Sure.
Excuse me. Hi.
Hi. Talus and Zach have also run up to him, but they're seeing that he's talking to an adult and they rush off again. He looks like he's itching to go play with them, but he regains his demeanor of being an Azamar who is in charge of shit, and he looks up at you.
I was wondering, I was going to ask Kythia, but I was wondering maybe if your people knew of something that could help pain.
My people know some old magics. There is a chance that a couple of the healers may know something that your clerics and your alchemists know not.
Okay.
The most noted alchemist tends to hang out at the alchemist and gestures over to the training room. There is a human there also, and well, you know Kythia. A couple of them talk. Perhaps that would be your best bet.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. And then almost immediately his face, his stern demeanor kind of drops, and he chases after where Zach and Talus were. He's a kid. He likes playing with kids. He's a child. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Zaltanna, is there anything you'd like to do?
Stare longingly at the rapier and then walk out of the room.
That's fair. You spot Benno still pacing up and down outside the temple, and he kind of looks over at you with a knowing look of he knows what you were thinking about.
Somewhere in the back of your head, fucking fucking Callan Morn's hey, watch it. I'm still here, you know.
You don't hear a word from him. I promised Rethix I wouldn't do this to him again for a while. Pinsor, is there anything you would like to do?
I'm just going to go say goodbye to Take It. Since
Okay.
he's going to be going off in a different direction.
Well, I always said I'd have you back, but good luck.
I mean, we got important things to do.
Yeah, I mean,
You know.
we're becoming men or something.
Is that what it
Weird.
is?
I think so. We're
I don't
getting
think that's right.
responsibility and stuff.
Ugh, don't say that word.
I don't know.
I don't like that word.
At least you got an alternative to being king.
Yeah, I do. Can't sorry about that.
He shakes his head and oh bloody don't. I envy you. I wish I had a hidden brother. That would be amazing right now.
I mean,
Just hand it off to
if
someone
you
else.
want to do it the same way I did, maybe get your mom a little drunk. Maybe something will slip out and there's a secret hidden brother somewhere in the world.
We've seen my mum drunk quite a lot. I think
Yeah.
she probably would have said by now.
Yeah, it's quite expensive to get your mom drunk.
Bloody hell. Fuck my ear.
Well, anyway.
Well, put it here, bruv.
Yep. I go on for a big hug.
Yeah, so he gives you a big hug. Like, there was no, like, pretense of a handshake there. He just, like...
And as before we get let go, I, like, hit him on the back, and I'm like, what we say? Always have a plan, and if you don't, fake it till you make it. And then I leave him where he is, and I walk away, proud and smug.
I give you one inspiration for an unbelievable pun.
Did you say fake it till you make it?
Yes, I did.
You did. I will give you inspiration for that terrible, terrible pun.
I am making a very angry face right now.
Okay. Balance, is there anything you'd like to do right now?
Fucking interrogate the alchemist.
Oh, yeah. That dude.
Sure.
Hey, look, just because he comes from the land of plenty.
We don't know where he comes from. That's the problem.
He comes from a land down under.
You approach this man. He is hanging out at the alchemist. You can see that Rhal is nearby talking to the big kitteny thing that he was talking to before. It would appear that this person is an alchemist. I had nothing planned for this person. They're now an alchemist. Thank you, Neil.
You know, I want somebody nearby. So if this guy gets violent, then I could be like, "Oh shit, help!"
It makes sense. The kitten person. They tell you they've heard of this like this powder that they could grind down and add a little water to, and it would help with your pain.
Absolutely.
They could probably give you like 3 doses. So I'll say that will give you. Let's say that each dose would give you advantage on your next con save, but you only have 3 of them.
Okay.
3
doses.
So note that down somewhere. The name of the thing they give you is unpronounceable to your dragonborn lips.
Okay.
It sounds like a purr. They don't know how to translate. Yeah.
Per
Okay.
3 doses.
Yes. So you see Rhal talking to the big kidney dude. And yeah, you come across this human alchemist. They look up at you and they give you a nod.
Pardon, sorry to interrupt you. My name is Balance, and Balance reaches a hand out.
Yes, I remember. The one who did the dream thing.
Yes, we didn't really get to have a conversation. Things were a little bit chaotic at the time.
Of course. Life is chaos, however. What can I help you with?
The last little while has been chaos. It was brought to my attention that you kind of just showed up here.
Yes, I was making my way towards Falsum, and I had heard it had changed from one place to another, and I thought it would be interesting to come to a place that had switched alliances. So I came here, and then the other god died. I was down here in the sewers dealing with the fourfold. I got sort of separated, and everything broke up around me. I just ended up making my way through to the temple here.
You're involved with the fourfold?
I knew that they were here. I don't participate. It's not my sort of thing. I'm more of a create a potion to help a fighter kind of person.
I see. Where are you from?
I'm from a little place south of here in the Dawn. A little place called Yoli. Just a little village in the Dawn. Much to it. Makes cheese. Great cheese.
And you showed up here and now are helping us with all of this?
I came through a hole in the side of the sewer.
Right.
And there were these bands of colours. Lots of jumping involved.
Very aware.
Hear lots of talking. There was a big bear, undead bear, that greeted me. Feeling a little worse for wear. A little poison. A little set of fire. The people in here were kind enough to help out.
I'm surprised that you didn't get mauled first.
It was a close thing. You should see the bear, though.
No, I've seen the bear. They work for us, in fact.
Protecting this place. Yes.
Right.
I was just looking for help. It was a little bit, end of the world.
Can I get a read on this guy's aura, like as I've been talking with him?
Yes, you can.
What is it with me getting 12s on insight?
This guy seems to be on the level. He might be embellishing some things. He might be hiding some things. But nothing you wouldn't expect.
I'm sorry, I don't believe I even got your name.
Emmett Scott. Wait, no, Emil. Emil Scott, I think. Hang on.
Emil Scott.
He was almost a meal for an undead bear.
Hey!
Inspiration, sure.
But I don't get any inspiration for all the dumb fucking puns I've been making.
Yours usually just hurt.
I realize that you guys have gone through your inspiration fairly recently, so I'm trying to top you back up to a decent level.
We have.
I have an inspiration and I don't know what from.
Being rad.
Probably just hugging people. Let's be
Probably
I have an
hugging
inspiration.
people.
What did I get an inspiration for? Apparently I have one.
Oh, I gave everyone inspiration after Adette's death stuff. So everyone should have at least one from that.
Oh, we
'Cause it
have
was
to
super
have
sad
more
and everyone
people
was
die to get more
emoting.
inspiration.
No!
Kaden! Kaden!
Well, what?
Come here, you're
No,
already
I'm
old.
not doing this.
Is there anything else?
Yes, only because I think that I actually have the time and energy for it. I would like your permission to just kind of root around in your memories to make sure that what you're saying is valid.
How about a zone of truth? I don't like the idea of you messing with my memories. My memories, they belong to me, alone.
I don't touch them, I just look at them.
Don't care. My memories, they belong to me.
Fair. I just need to make sure because you turning up at such a time is awfully convenient and concerning.
He looks a little upset by this. Not a case of like, fuck you, asshole. It's more a case of like, oh, okay, fine.
I guess we go find somebody to do such zoning of truth.
Doesn't take long. You'll find someone nearby, absolutely. He submits to Zone of Truth. The caster tells you that he hasn't resisted. He's willingly failed.
All right. I will try to keep it simple then. What is your name?
Emil Scott.
How did you show up here?
I was taking refuge when the apocalypse happened, and I tried to find shelter.
How did you end up in the sewers?
The Fourfold.
How did you end up in the fourfold?
A friend told me of its location.
For what purpose?
In case I needed to seek help.
Help for what?
In case I needed protection. Or in case I wanted to make money on betting.
Is alchemy your main skill set?
No.
What is?
The art of restoring life.
I see. Through what manner of magic? Are you animating corpses or are you restoring souls?
Souls. I don't play with dead things.
Do you have the means of doing so right now?
No.
Could you?
If I have the right things.
What would you need?
Gems. Piece of the body.
How extensively far back are you able to go?
200 years.
How much material would you need?
Why?
Because while many people are not fans of the things that you claim to be able to do, I don't have as many versions. I'm already outside the law.
You're outside of some laws, not all of them.
Clearly you believe that for saying it.
I toy with the forces of life and death, boy.
And I toy with the mind. You and I wield things that are not considered normal.
True, but death will take you one day too.
A very long time from now, perhaps. Or perhaps tomorrow, I know not. There are people that have been taken far too soon, and for reasons that some of us cannot accept. People who could be key in aiding us.
Of course, but there is a balance to be struck between life and death. Things have an end in our world.
So then what is your criteria? Since you have a moral code, it seems.
I take things case by case. I judge. No one can force my hand to do this. Sometimes you have to just accept that things are over. And that things are dead. But you don't always have to accept that. But I am the one who wields this power.
One of many.
But the cost is 200 years. Powerful magic. The cost is an exceptionally high one. If you're done interrogating me...
And with that, he doesn't even wait for your answer. He goes back to his alchemy station.
All right.
Squash.
Yes.
Everyone has left, apart from Demi. What do you want to do?
And then I got high.
I have a feeling that Demi has a grip on the top of his shoulder or something like that, and she's not letting him out of her sight for the rest of the day until they leave again. I'm basically just assuming that Squash is being berated is not the right word, but something along those lines. And so it shall be.
Yeah, she just closes the door to the mirror room when everyone's gone, and she looks down. She kind of looks down at you, and then she gets on her knees so that she's about the same level and sits back.
Squash does not meet her eyes.
Yeah. You don't have to go back if you don't want to.
You say that now.
I say that now.
Easy to say it now.
She puts a finger under her chin, lifts your head up. You can see her eyes are no longer bright red. They are her natural kind of dark brown colour. You don't have to go back. I know what Dacian did to you. You don't have to go back. If this is too much, we'll find a way. You're the best at the job, but if you don't want to do it, I understand. You don't have to go. I mean, I want you to go, but I understand if you don't want to.
Squash looks sheepish, like he regrets talking back earlier. And no, I'm the one who broke the vault earlier, and from what I've seen, Pinter might be talented, but I don't think he has what it takes. I think you guys kinda need me.
We do. Where did you do the dragon sound again?
Oh, Squash immediately breaks the eye contact.
She puts a finger under her chin and lifts your head back up again, but with a bit more force. Her eyes are beginning to red over a little bit again, but she's holding it at bay. It's who gave you the sand?
What do you mean, who gave me the sand?
Who gave you the sand? Squash. Squash. You are a much better person without the sand. I like talking to you when you're not on sand. Right now, you're an asshole. I don't want to talk to you right now.
The exact same person that brought us wines, foods, and all the good things. That weird butler guy.
Okay, fine. If you ever feel like you're going to do this again, just tell me. Okay, you don't need to do the sand.
Oh, there's a weird look at his face, like, okay.
I guess take a deception check.
No, there's no deception here. Like, he's just like you're. It's difficult. You don't. We can have this conversation when I'm not.
Hi.
Coming down?
Oh, right, yeah. I thought that's the thing that people do. Yeah.
I feel like you're ambushing me at a very unfair time.
Well, yeah, because we need to go to do the thing, and you're coming down, so I kind of need to make sure that you're not going to be picking this thing up again. We really need you on this one. And if you're coming, then I'd rather that you come with a clear and level head, not like...
No, you want me with... You need me on the sand right now.
No.
I can't quit right now. Not if we're going to break the vault.
Take a persuasion check at disadvantage.
I'm so feeling that. I've told you before, he's horrible. That's 12. That's impressively high for me.
It actually is.
But yeah, this is genuinely what he believes.
How much of this stuff will make sure that you don't come down too quickly?
Let me see. How would you measure fucking dragon sand?
Just say like a quarter or half a dose or something.
A back pinch is enough to keep you, like, not hurting usually, but it starts wearing off faster and faster the longer you just do small pinches.
Okay, fine.
Eventually it just kind of takes you.
Right, okay, fine. I'll figure something out. But don't hit the stuff, okay? You don't need it.
No, I know you guys don't like it. I know you guys don't like it.
Do you want to know why I don't like you on sand? Sorry, yeah. Why don't I like you on sand? Because you stand up to me when you're not on sand. Like, properly. No one ever does that with me. When you're on sand, you're a bitch.
I'm not.
I'll too.
Okay.
With that, she just kind of like gets up and walks out. You're left there alone. Is there anything you want to do?
Oh, she actually leaves him.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then I got high.
No. Squash is gonna go be miserable in the temple.
Oh.
How could this
It's sad
happen
and
to
pathetic,
me?
and I love it.
Damn, no one looked in the mirror. Have those kids gone? Good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank goodness they didn't ask me to pull a rabbit out of a hat. People coming in here, asking me questions. Damn them all. This has been The Lucky Die, episode 74. No, it hasn't. Fuckity duck, 78. Hope you enjoyed it. Pop along to find some more of our episodes if you missed any. It would be quite good, you know. The man behind this voice is Jay Shuri. He's a filmmaker and tutor. You can find more information about his current short film, which is called Betrayed, at jqsfilms.co.uk. Check out The Lucky Die on Twitter at TLDpod.
It's so dividing. Rhal left.
Rhal didn't want to have to pick sides because he likes both. But he also
started
likes
falling asleep.
Can't we all just hug?
Welcome to
I swear
TLD
to
Hug
God,
Edition.
if the first thing that Rhal does when he sees Dayton is try to hug him in submission, I'm going to be so annoyed.
You know that Neil's going to make the joke, but not actually do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can see Neil doing it.
No, because you know what? Because Rhal is vividly aware of what Daichin has done to Squash and just is involved in general. I feel like Rhal would probably punch first. And for that matter, Balance would probably be fucking mind exploding him to oblivion as best as he could. As much as that would work on a fucking avatar of a dark god.
Give it a shot.
Mind bullets. That's
Quattro.
Worst comes to worst, at least I have fire powers now.
Yeah, that's worth a shot.
By the way, can I make the point that I feel like Balance is the kind of guy who, when he tells a story, he would include the part where he slept with Kythea? At that night, me and Kythea shared a bed, and then we met on our merry way.
No.
It was delightful. We both had a great time, and there will be no questions.
Yeah, sure.
Any questions?
If anybody would understand that some things are to remain secret or unspoken.
We had the best sex. We had the best penetration.
I feel like you should stop right now.
I was huge.
Huge. It was the bigliest.
Oh my god.
You know, I just went up to her, I grabbed her by the pussy, and
I'm leaving. I'm quitting TLD. It's been a great run.
It's okay, Casey. At this point, rocks fall and only 2 people die. Oh no! Irretrievably.
fucking do it. I dare you. I have another character concept lined up.